Right, let's have a look, see if we've got stream happening. Yep. Okay, it's live, good. According to YouTube. Let's get the pop-out chat happening. Cool. And we'll just post that into here. Sorry, just getting a last couple of seconds of setting things up. So we've got the YouTube chat running. Let's just make sure that's working. Yep, it is. Believe it, it is. Cool. Right. I'll keep an eye on that. Chatbot's working, so it should pop in a sec. If you guys want to join us, Zoom is up. There's the link. I will put that into the link now. And let's pin that. Okay, it's pinned in YouTube. Oops, I probably should do it for Twitch. Twitch. Typing this manual, trying not to make a typo. Sorry, it comes out twice because I did it on Zoom and, sorry, on Twitch. Bang. Let's just make sure we have no audio. Good. And then we can pin this message in Twitch. And we won't unpin it. Cool. Alright, so Twitch is ready to go. Okay, Twitch is twitch.tv/Synth Geekery. So those in YouTube and prefer to use Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Synth Geekery. So that's the Twitch link if you want to join us on Twitch. Okay, now the other thing I want to get set up is the socials. What are we going to do today while we're streaming? It's impromptu. So what we're going to do is muck around. Yep, that's the right one. Sorry, just getting that on. Twitch on. So we're only streaming on the 2 today. And then I can bring the chat in as a pop-up bubble. Okay, overhead camera's working. That's definitely behaving. Alright, we have got the sample track again open. Sample track is going to be our main Duvalaka. So what we'll do is we'll get the power happening on that. I think we'll plug a couple of different boxes into it via MIDI. I'm going to try some of the MIDI stuff out on this. So we could do the Me Blip geode, a little analog synth, and we can do, maybe we could do the Roland boutique as well. So, sorry, I just need to move it over a little bit. So obviously I can't have it all sitting like that, but I can have, maybe I might swap them over. I'll put the Me Blip here, because that'll fit, and I'll put the Roland over there, because that'll fit. I don't need to access any of this stuff along the side, so that's fine. Can zoom out a bit. Just gonna see what's going on. Right, now we need some cables. So what I thought we'd do, we've got a couple of at the back here. I've got an 8-port connection that I can plug audio into, so we can come straight out of the back of these two into that. But what I thought we'd do is we'll use the sample track as both an internal sample player sequencer, and we'll use the inbuilt MIDI controller on this as well. I've never actually tried it, and I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know how good it is. And I'm giving these things a good hard rock and roll, so who knows? Who knows? So yeah, I've got the music in the background because my dog's snoring. We'll turn that off later. Hello, Mr. Spong. Join us, mate, if you can. Or if it's too early for you, you haven't got out of your PJs yet. Just going to bring up the Zoom connector here. Okay, let's get some connections. Power. In bed with snoring. You're in bed with snoring dogs, and I'm at my desk with snoring dog. We can have stereo snoring. Cute. They're so cute when they snore, seriously. So I'm gonna make noise. This microphone is in the way. It's doing my head in. Let's get this plugged in. That's not the right cable. Why is that not the right cable? Okay, I give up. Maybe this is. What have we got here? That's 12 volt. Let's drop it in the zip. Hey, that works. Okay, cool. This one uses USB. Sorry about my head being in the way. And the Roland uses USB as well, so we need some USB happening. Making the set with some USB. Okay, that is one USB. Okay, we've got power there. Okay, turn the sample track on. Where's the power button on this thing gone? There it is. Okay, we need a MIDI cable to go from there to there. And we need audio out into the desk. just organizing some cables. Won't be a sec. One. Got the right cable. Ableton happening. Ooh. Hey, Ozboy. Select an audio device and do not share incompatible sampling rate with live. What's going on there? Audio device. What happened to me? That's better. What's the bit? I've lost all my config. Oh no. Still there. Okay, cool. Alright, let's see if we've got... tone. Right, that sounds good for that. Cool. Let me know if you guys can hear that. Now we need a MIDI connection on this. I'm thinking maybe the easiest way to go about it. Okay, we just set up a new project. Hey, Andy. Right. So I should be able to with Ableton. Don't know if it's working or not. Oh yeah, there it is. We should be able to see the boutique. And I don't know what channel the boutique's on. So we're about to find it out. So it's not on 1, 2, it's on 3. Alright, so we've got access to the boutique, and I'm not using the keys there. Okay. Now we need more MIDI. So I feel like we may need to move this over a little bit to get MIDI in. That is going to work. I don't know what if it's unplugged. Oh, wrong one. There we go, better. Alright, now we should have sample track showing up in Ableton. MIDI. I wonder if we have to restart it. Just restarting it. It could be USB MIDI. It could be USB MIDI. So let's try that theory out. So let's hang on. Let's do a kit. Actually no, let's do a sample. Do a sample. This is really like reflecting badly. Maybe I need to put something underneath that for you guys. Chuck a piece of wood under it. Okay. So we're going to go to pool. Let's do some Electron stuff. What have we got here? So you can sample you can actually listen to these. Ah, and the other thing too is we need some audio. So we'll get that happening. Sample track is now We've got one more audio connection to make, but sample track is now in. I don't know what it's in, but let's see what audio we're getting out of his. Let's do that one before it annoys me. Okay, so this is now asking me whether I want it to load, chop, trim, all that sort of stuff. So we're just going to load it because I haven't got time to muck around. So now load it to there, and we want it to be a shot or an instrument. Let's do it as an instrument. And I absolutely have no idea how this is going to respond. So if I go USB MIDI and change this to channel 1, it's not responding. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm not sure how we can get it to respond. I've got an effect on an Ableton. I'll just turn that off. Okay. Now there has to be a way we can set this up for MIDI. It's on USB MIDI 1. So I'm wondering how to do it. Boys, Zoom's on if you want to join. Or if you guys got the vMix, you can join in vMix. Okay, let's get the manual up quickly because I don't have time to surf through 1,000 menu options and try and find this out. So let's go into manual, sonicware, sample track, reference manual will probably be in here. Oh god, this is massive. It's like 217 pages. Is there an index? MIDI, 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 MIDI. Here we go. Setting track channels. Just exactly what I want. Yes, I love it when people do the right thing and make it instantly. So we go function, system. And then we scroll down to MIDI. And then we go track. Okay. Select a track and press OK. And use these things to select the track to change, and then you turn the A to change the channel. So that should be responding. Okay, it might not be the right MIDI device. Alright. So now we go back. How do we go back? I think we go clear. Then we go channel. Aha. Okay, so project channel is the channel for receiving project MIDI. Auto channel is the channel number used to as the output. Cool. And then you've got PC channel. Doesn't say anything about PC channel on here. Let's change this to 15 and see what happens. PC channel 15. No. Okay. I'm changing it in my anyway. Let's go back and go config and make sure this is all good. So input from there we go. Input from USB and MIDI is correct. So we use the A knob to change that. So we just want USB and MIDI is fine. Output, yep. TX node is off, TXCC is off, and there's a second page. Program change we don't need. Okay, cool. I feel like that's correct, but I'm not seeing this. Yes, I am. I'm seeing it now. Sample track. Yes. It's kind of like it maybe I woke it up. Beautiful. Right, we can get out of that menu now and go into the track. So click on that. That's really cool. I like that. I don't know if I like the sound, but I like that. Maybe we should change the sound. How do I change the sound? I would go back to there and function. Pull. Delete. Oh, that's deleting the project, so no. So it might be in here. No. No. That's the different sampling modes, that's fine. So that's the pool. There we go. Sample MIDI kit. Right. So then we're going to change this to a different sample. That. Right. How do we go up? I think we go up there. Origin sounds, music loops, music single hits. Sounds like a good thing. Synth, yeah, let's do that. What do we got here? Right, let's try that. Let's try guitar. I kind of feel like, was that the one we're on? Yeah. Sounds like it's the same thing. Okay, until I actually brought it in. Baranowski's. Right, we've got that in now. So we can set loop points and things. See, I feel like this is not letting me do as much as I want it to do. So if I go OK, and then I go instrument. Oh, I can change it there, right? Okay, I got it. So there's the sequence. There's the voice. Okay, here's where I want to find the release, right? So how do I change the release? Is it one of these knobs here? release. This is what I want. Gotta have a look at my hand out of here for you guys. Sounds pretty good. Crikey sample. I've got one somewhere. Right. Let's get rid of that. Cool, we're okay with that. Right, with this track we want to try the MIDI now, don't we? So first thing we want to do is we want to change the track type to MIDI. And this is where we want to set the MIDI to go out. So this is probably where we go back into that menu, which was function system, MIDI, track 2. Track 2, and we use we want it to go to 3, didn't we? MIDI channel on track 2. That should do us. Okay, now if we go into that track, we should be able to sequence stuff on it. Right. Okay, that's not working. I'll zoom out a little bit. I should be able to, I'm on track 2. That should actually fire off MIDI sounds, okay? And it's not. So, we might need to do a map in Ableton. So if I'm receiving MIDI from sample track on channel 2, I want it to go to channel 3, sorry. I want it to go to boutique, channel 3. Let's see if that works. And enable it. So it's not receiving any MIDI. It's not transmitting any MIDI here. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. Zoom back in again so I can see the menus. Alright, back to the manual. Alright, so you can actually set MIDI for individual pads as well. I just read that. Okay, let's go to tracks. Drum tracks, loop tracks, MIDI tracks. MIDI channel and other settings are configured in MIDI settings, which we did. Okay. So what we've got here is our keyboard. Don't think there's anything in here that we need to change. Track length is 16. This is all sequencer based stuff. I just don't know why that's not transmitting. Maybe it's a MIDI setting. MIDI channel. Maybe it receives on output channel is auto. Let's change that to the track. still not receiving MIDI. Is there a different sample track? Hang on, wait. Ableton might not be configured. Always check your configuration. Where's sample track? Yeah, it's got track and sync. I can turn remote on, that may enable some more stuff. I feel like that really wouldn't matter. But I'll just turn all the things on. But you can see here, I'm not getting anything coming in. Nothing's coming in. Why is this so? That's the sample track, but it's not the MIDI track. Alright, well let's just record something really stupid, like let's just go bang, and we'll just go boom, 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 boom. Done. Okay, so that's playing now and it's sending out MIDI. I feel like we should be receiving MIDI on that, but we're not. Disappointing. I'm wondering whether it must come out of the bag. Just go back into here and configure the whole thing. So I've got it set to USB and MIDI. Out to USB and MIDI. TX note. Oh, maybe that's what's happening. Clock out. Maybe that's what it was. It's working now. Let's zoom out a bit. So with a bit of skullduggery, we've managed to work out how to get the MIDI to work, and it's working through Ableton, which is actually really cool. It's a cool feature. Cool. Don't know why it was disabled to transmit by default, but it was. Okay, next is let's get it to play ball with the Me Blip geode, and I kind of feel like we need to send this out. It's on USB MIDI, so that should be fine. USB MIDI is this little switch here. You can either switch it to DIN or USB. So we're going to have it on USB. MIDI channel is set to, I think it's set to channel 1, but we'll see what happens. Right, we need to get audio out of the back of that, which we'll do. We need to go small to big. Right. Right, before we do anything, let's just see if we can get some sound out of this thing. So, we're on 31, 32 probably. Alright, now we're going to change that to USB MIDI, which I think is this thing. So you can see here it's receiving MIDI. Not sure if it's on the right channel, but that's fine. Volume's up. I'm wondering whether this is actually a special audio connection. Yeah. I can't use that cable. I have to use the other one. Almost found a cable. It probably needs to be a TS. Nope. Interesting cable. What's it coming in as? 31. I feel like we can turn the music off now, guys. What do you reckon? Okay, so if we start pressing play on this thing, we can set up another MIDI track here. So if we go okay here, we want to set it to MIDI. Yep. I love how that was defaulting to what I did last time. Now what we want to do is we want it to set oh, out of interest. If we go back, we need to map it properly in Ableton, right? Because we're not going to be able to have multiple MIDI events happening. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm mapping it in Ableton here. So I've got, that was the first track there. So we're going to do sample track. This time it's going to be channel I'm going to come out of channel 2 and it's going to go to that one on channel 1 and it's going to be in, not auto. Alright, so now I feel like if we go in here, yes! Okay, we've got some stuff happening. Right, next thing we want to do is add some drums. Drums way. So in here, This time we want to do a drum, and it's got a rock kit. Now this is saying B, which is there, will change my kit. No, that's not true. This is saying C will change my kit if I read it properly. Get some. Now there's a way to turn the metronome on, I believe. So metronome was one of these. That's that one. That's preset, that's pull. Okay, we've done that. Sequencer. All right, now we want to set the sequence up. So you can do this by moving around. So that's that there. So we go there. Okay, and then okay, so we're there. All right, and let's just have a listen to that. Now we've got 4 tracks happening. And the other cool thing about it is we haven't sequenced the first instrument track yet. So let's go back to doing that. Now, there's another thing we can do in here. Got different modes, right? We can mute tracks, I believe, in here, and I forget how to do it. I think launch, that's FX. That's pan. So we want to be on track 1 and we can adjust the level. Now what I want to do with track 1 is I want to give it some FX. So we go into FX. Should we do an insert or a send? I think we'll do a send. And we want to have this as a different effect. Okay, now, happy with that? Now we can change the way this geode sounds. So let's go back to our track and edit that one. And I've noticed if we zoom in on here, I'm not kind of terribly happy with this. So we want to go into here. So now we've got the full thing happening. I don't think you can tempo sync the LFO on this. So when it launches it based on the pattern. Right, let's go. Happy with that, so we want to change the length of the track. So how do we do that? Track length, that's the instrument. There's the length. Length is, let's try that again. Alright, now in here I want to change the level of track 1 and cool, and we want to go on launch. All right. I'm kind of happy with the way this is behaving. It's not too bad. I kind of feel like I don't need to use this keyboard. I mean, the question you guys would be asking is, why are you using a DAW? It's only just to stop me from having to have MIDI throughs and things. So if you just had MIDI DIN cables, you would need a little MIDI 3 box to connect between these three. Other than that, I don't actually need it. So the other thing too is I'm using, to the right of me, I've got a MIDI keyboard, which I can control any of these devices with. So technically, I should be able to change the track on this. Oh, the routing is working. Yeah, I can. That's actually really cool. So it's actually routing for me as well. All right. The other thing too is you probably want to change things as you're playing it, right? Now we don't want it to stop. Why is it stopping? And we want it to be on go. Interesting. Okay. So once you've done that and you're happy with that, you can actually then start to copy scenes across into different scenes. You've got all the scenes across here and you can start building on there. But for now, what I want to do is I just want to just play with the sequence while we're in it. Now the other question was, how do we transpose? And I do believe there was a transpose feature on here. So let's just see if that comes up. There is a transpose section on the sequencer. Okay, so we're in the sequencer there. No, that's the other one. That's the me blip. So we want to go up to that one. There is a transpose section on here. Each song has 16 scenes, one scene, blah blah blah, lute, shots, drum track, instrument track, transpose, function. Okay. I can't find it in the manual and I don't know where it is, but I do believe it does it. I do believe it does it. Maybe it doesn't do it on a MIDI track, I'm not sure. Let's go back to the instrument track, see if it's in there. So that's the sequence there. And that's the EG. Not sure if I'm seeing it on there either. And usually these things would correspond to certain things happening on here, and it's not. So yeah. Now we seem to be getting somewhere with this really crappy track. We can then look at ways of copying. Okay, and we can change what we've copied. So we can go copy track. So to copy tracks, it's a little bit stupid. I feel like you should be able to do it here, but you can't. So you go function, no, you go there, project, and then you go settings, and then you go track, and then you go copy. That's interesting. You can set up the track color. Let's do that first. So track 2. Oh no, I'm fine with that. Let's go back. So copy. We want to copy track 2. Where are we? That one there. Copy track 2 to track. Copy track 2 to copy track 2. No. We want to copy scenes. Copy scenes. That's not what we want. Copy scene. Copy scene. Copy scene was back, wasn't it? Back. There's the scene there. Copy scene. Copy. So copy scene 1 to scene 2. Okay. Let's make sure we're on the right track first. So we're on track 2 and we want to copy scene 1 to scene 2. And then we click OK. And then we go, yes, no, we go done. So now we've copied all the scenes across. I didn't know if I really wanted that though. Okay, let's just edit the scene. And I want to transpose. There is a transpose setting. I can swear I know it's in here somewhere, and I don't think it's in here in the sequence. So I think you transpose the scene. So it could be in here. Under settings, under scene, it's not there. Under playback. That's how you set it looping and things like that. Project parameters, maybe? Nah. Oh, we do want to change the BPM. I don't like BPMs at 120. Let's go to 107. And let's go back to scene 1. I feel like we need to set the sequence settings on this too. MIDI config. That's fine. Sample track is set to sync So if I press play on here, interesting. Clock, oh, it's probably under clock. Let's do it to MIDI. Okay, let's try it now. It's not doing that what I want it to do. Clock. Source is MIDI. I don't want it to be sync because that's those two things there. I don't want it to be internal. Let's try anyway. There we go, fixed. All right. One thing I definitely want to do is I want to change that first track. I hate it. So that was our little sampler. So how do we go into there? We go into there, change the instrument. So we should be able to just change it here. Pull. next thing I want to do is work out how to change the levels of the various instruments in the kit. And I don't know whether that's something that we can do in here. So let's have a look at what we can do with kits. Because I kind of feel like some of them are too loud, some of the instruments. So let's have a look at drum kits. Editing drum kits, we have a function for that. We go into there, we edit it. Cool. Yes. Okay, instrument parameters, maybe it's that one. Yes, it is. So we, oh, that's brilliant, 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 brilliant. So now we can change the level of that, which is C. So let's listen to that. Ah, we can't play while we're in here. That sucks. Maybe if we're out of here. Ah, no. Back. We've got to save this, do we? Yeah, so we've got to save what we do. That's why we can't. Save as project, save as pool, overwrite. We'll go save as project. That'll do. Cool. Okay, quit. Try it now. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I want to learn how to transpose this whole thing, and it's annoying me how I can't do it. duplicate swing, EG voice, velocity instrument. So that's the velocity. Level, pan, send. Okay. But these are all the different settings for each. You can close that. Okay, but how do we transpose? There is a performance mode in here which, where did I see it? It's there. So you can get performance there. Okay. Now, so in this performance mode, I can actually change between each of these tracks. And if I do, I have direct access to the instruments. Cool. And the other thing too is if we say we're in that, we can actually change the frequency of the cutoff, but we're not in the cutoff at the moment because it isn't set at the moment, which is here. And I believe I can change that. So if you go back out of performance mode into the track, no, into somewhere else. Where do I set the... I know there's a way to set that filter thing. Anyway, all right. Transpose, here we go, here we go. This is what we want to do. Okay, so I found out how to do it just by watching a bit of YouTube. Right, so we go into there and we click on the pencil and transpose, and then we can change that so we can go up an octave. So now, and it doesn't change the sequence note settings, it changes it as a MIDI send type thing, even though it's not MIDI. So let's see what happens. Okay, the other thing we wanted to do is work out one more thing with this. So we've got instrument, MIDI, and drum. And let's go back to our launch. The other one is is the clip. So if we want like a loop or a shot. So shots are kind of like sample players, and let's go back into Will do. In this particular case, we want it to just process that. That's fine. And then so we probably don't want that as a shot. We probably want that as a global. I kind of feel. Delete. No. Global, and we want to load that in there. Let's see what happens now. Okay. Hmm. don't know why it's not playing this. It's weird. To me, it's a bug. So let's take it out for now, and then what I'll do is I'll go down to the global track, and we need to try and work out how to get that sample into the global track, which is what I was trying to do on the stream the other day. It's real weird. I don't really fully get the global tracks. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. So I feel like they're just audio tracks, and I don't know if I can just put a sample into it. But what would be nice with these global tracks is, because they are just audio tracks, so I guess you can just mix down into them, and they're your sort of sample tracks, and they're independent of the sequences and the scenes, so they just play. But what would be kind of nice is if you can, you've got 3 different virtual recordings here. What would be nice is if you could select what file you want to be in that somehow. Like, I don't get it. What's in here? No. So you can loop it. Don't want to go in there. That's the scene. And that's the level. So these will change that, and then the split and all that sort of stuff. But I have to record into it. I don't really want to do that. I want to just put like a long sample in there. There is a USB audio track here as well, and an external source which you can use. But that's not really what I want either. No, it's not really what I want. Yeah, let's not worry about it. What I wanted is, I wanted that sample, right? That one shot sample, which is in here, okay? That. I wanted that to play, okay? And if I do that, it inserts it, so you can see. There's 112 note length. And it finishes there. You can change the note length to 128. It actually finishes around there. So I'll actually just, I don't really want to have a gap. I want it to repeat. Okay, so that's in, right? I think this zooms. That's zooming. Okay. Oh no, that's just changing our note. Interesting. Maybe that's our problem. Anyway, let's just go back to here. And if I press play, I play it in there, it works. doesn't loop. Yes, it's just not playing. It's weird. It's weird. I'm probably just doing something wrong. Anyway, I'm kind of okay with this. Let's just...